Hello. If this will be your first National Open University of Nigeria e-exam, listen carefully. Many students walk into the e-exam hall prepared academically but still become confused once they sit in front of the computer system. Some panic, some press the wrong buttons, some waste valuable time asking questions they could have prepared for earlier. And honestly, the problem is usually not intelligence but lack of familiarity with the process. So, in this video, I am going to calmly walk you through what NOUN E-exams really are, how they differ from pen-on-paper exams, what to expect from the moment you arrive at the study center, and the small mistakes that can quietly affect your performance if you're not careful. Before anything else, let's quickly understand something important. In the National Open University of Nigeria system, examinations are generally divided into two major formats. The first is the regular pen-on-paper examination, often called POP exams, where students write answers manually inside answer booklets. The second is the e-examination system, where students answer questions directly on a computer. Now, e-exams are mostly written by students in 100 level and 200 levels. However, higher level students who still have GST or some non-related general courses may also participate in e-exams. Because this system is computer-based, students need more than just academic preparation. They also need basic familiarity with the examination environment itself. This is where many students make mistakes. Some students focus completely on reading their course material, but forget that the exam itself happens through a computer system. So, on the exam day, nervousness begins immediately they sit in front of the screen. That is why one of the best things you can do for yourself before the examination is to become comfortable with very basic computer operations. You do not need advanced ICT knowledge. Nobody is expecting you to become a computer engineer overnight. But simple things matters, and knowing how to use the mouse properly, knowing how to scroll carefully, knowing how to click correctly, knowing how to move between questions, and knowing how to type your login details calmly in the computer system matters a lot, and this can reduce unnecessary tension during examination. Once the exam starts, you would agree with me that the ICT staff and invigilators may already be attending to many students at the same time, and if every little thing becomes difficult for you, anxiety may begin to affect your concentration. So, basic familiarity gives you confidence and helps you continue your exam calmly without unnecessary interruptions. Now, let's move gradually into what usually happens on the actual e-exam day. One mistake students often make is arriving late. E-exams are highly structured and computerized, so timing is very important. I ask that you try as much as possible to arrive early enough to settle down mentally before the examination begins. If possible, avoid coming with unnecessary items so that your movement and checking process remains smooth. Once students are invited into the examination hall, Each person is usually directed to a particular computer system. Now, before touching anything, you're required to pause and observe first. While observing, check that the computer is properly on. You should check that the computer is completely switched on. You're required to also check that the login portal is visible on your computer system. You are also to check that the system appears active and stable. Also, quickly notice whether the computer is connected properly or is charging, because if your computer is not charging, chances are high that it will go off while you're still answering your exam. So, it is very important that you check this out before your exam begins. This small observation matters because many students panic and start pressing random buttons immediately they sit down. And it is not okay. You should please try to avoid that. If something genuinely appears wrong, calmly notify the ICT staff or invigilator instead of trying to fix everything by yourself. After students settle down, announcements and instructions are usually made before the examination officially begins. This is another moment students must pay attention to. Sometimes anxiety makes students ignore instructions because they are eager to begin exam quickly. But listening carefully can save you from avoidable mistakes later. So, once the examination is announced to begin, students are expected to log into the system using their credentials. In many cases, both the username and password may be your matriculation number, written in lowercase formats. Now, this is important. After logging in successfully, you are required not to rush immediately to attend to your examination. Take a few seconds to confirm the details displayed on your screen. Usually at the top right corner, you should see your name and your passport photograph. Please verify properly that is truly your own profile before proceeding. Then look carefully at the course displayed for that session and confirm that it is the correct examination you're scheduled to write on that particular day and at that particular time. These small confirmations matter more than students realize. Once everything is correct, you can then open the examination page and calmly read through the instruction provided there. You're required not to skip instruction because you're in a hurry to answer, like I said. After reading instruction, you will see a button labeled Start Exam. And this is where the actual examination begins. Once the questions appear on your screen, stay calm and read carefully. Do not allow the speed of other students around you to pressure you. Some students become anxious because they notice others clicking very fast. But remember, speed without understanding can create mistakes. You have to focus on your own screen and your own concentration. As you answer questions, you will notice navigation buttons like Next and Previous. These help you move smoothly between questions. Then, on the side of the screen, you will usually see numbered indicators representing all the questions in the exam. These features is actually very helpful. Questions already attempted may appear partially filled, while unanswered ones remain empty. So, if you skip a question accidentally, the system helps you identify it easily. That is why students should not panic unnecessarily if they move past a question in the course of answering their examination. The structure already helps you monitor your progress. Now, eventually, after answering the questions, you will come across an option labeled Finish Attempt. Please understand this point clearly. Clicking Finish Attempt leads to the final submission stage, and once you finally click on Submit, your answers are submitted permanently. At that point, you cannot go back to make corrections anymore. So, before submitting, before pressing or clicking on that Submit button, you are required to pause, review your answers carefully, check for skipped questions, and make sure you're satisfied with your selection. Only then should you proceed with submission. Depending on the examination system configuration, your score and grade may appear immediately after your submission. Some students write down their score for reference where permitted, and after that, there is one final step many students forget: logging out. Do not stand up immediately after submitting. Look at the top right corner of your screen where your name appears. Click on it and select Logout. This properly ends your examination session. Now, beyond all these technical steps, there is something even deeper students should understand. Many students do not struggle during e-exam because they lack knowledge. No, they struggle because anxiety affects their coordination and concentration. I want you to know that fear causes rushing most of the time, and rushing, on the other hand, causes mistake. So, before your exam day, I strongly recommend that you rest properly. I recommend that you arrive early. I recommend that you stay calm. I recommend that you listen carefully. And I recommend that you trust yourself, because when your mind is stable, the entire process becomes easier to follow. And honestly, dear students, digital examinations are becoming more common in modern education. So, basic computer literacy is no longer optional for students. You should go get yourself the skill. It is gradually becoming part of academic survival itself. The NOUN E-exam system is actually structured to make examination organized and efficient for students. And once you understand the process calmly before exam day or before your exam time, you reduce confusion, you reduce tension, and you reduce avoidable mistakes significantly. Preparation is not only about reading your course material, it is also about understanding the environment where your performance will happen. If this video helped you, please don't keep it to yourself. I need you to subscribe now for practical student guidance and emotional support. Share this with other NOUN students and other conventional students, as well as NOUN students who are still new to e-exams. I ask that you watch the full NOUN exam support playlist on our YouTube channel, And for guidance, inquiries, support, or collaboration, please reach out to our official email address. The links to all this that I mentioned will be given in the comment section. Thank you for staying with us, and see you again in our next episode. Thank you.